Good morning students. Today we are going to see about 7th standard social science in term 2. The history unit 1 Vijayanagar and Bahmani kingdoms. In this session we learn about only Vijayanagar kingdom. The learning objectives are the circumstances that lead to the rise and expansion of Vijayanagar kingdom, the administration, military organization, and the economic life during the time of their regime. The contributions of Vijayanagar and the ruler to literature, art, and architecture. Let's move on to the session. In the 14th century, provided great opportunities for the rise of new kingdoms in the south. The repressive measures of the temperamental Muslim king Muhammad bin Tughlaq lead to the rise of many new independent states. In the south, Vijayanagar and Gulbarga or Bahmani emerged as two great kingdoms. The state of Vijayanagar continued to flourish for nearly 200 years. Vijayanagar's wealth and prosperity inducted the Muslim Deccan kingdoms to launch a combined war against it. In 1565, the Battle of Talikota, finally they would succeed in crushing Vijayanagar Empire. Let's move on to the next session, foundation of Vijayanagar Empire. Vijayanagara, that means city of victory, was established in southern Karnataka by two brothers named Harihara and Pukka. According to one tradition, Vidyaranya, head of the Saivate Siringeri Mutt, instructed them to abandon their service to the Tughlaq and rescue the country from Muslim authority. The new kingdom was called Vidyanagara for the time in honor of the spiritual teacher Vidyaranya before it came to be called Vijayanagara. Vijayanagara have 4 dynasties, namely Sangama, Saluva, TULUVA and ARAVIDU dynasty. The fertile region between the rivers Krishna and Tungabhadra and the Krishna Godavari Delta were the zones of conflict among the rulers of Vijayanagar, Bahmani and Odisha. The first two brothers, Harihara and Bukka, of the Sangama dynasty protected the new kingdom from a superior force of the Bahmani Sultanate, which had been established about a decade after the foundation of Vijayanagara. Bukka, first son Kumara Kambana, entered the Sultanate in Madurai and succeeded in establishing Naik kingdom there. The conquest of the Madurai Sultanate, the Vijayanagara Empire, is described in detail in the poem Madura Vijayam, composed by Kumara Kampana's wife Ganga Devi. The next, end of the Sangama dynasty. The king Bukka died. He had left behind a large territory to his son Harihara to rule. Harihara's too impressive achievement was securing Belgaum and Goa from the Bahmani kingdom. Harihara's son Devaraya first defeated Gajapati kings of Odisha. His successor Devaraya II was the greatest ruler of the Sangama dynasty. He began the practice of recruiting Muslim fighters to serve him and to train him in the new methods of warfare. The next dynasty is of Saluva dynasty. After Devaraya II, the Vijayanagar Empire went through a crisis. The able commander of the Vijayanagar army, Saluva Narasimha, making use of the situation, declared himself the emperor. After murdering the last ruler of Sangama dynasty, Virubaksharaya II, but the Saluva dynasty founded by Saluva Narasimha came to end with his death. When Naras Nayaka, his able general, powered it Tuluva dynasty. Krishna Deva Raya, he was the most powerful ruler and he was ruling 20 years. His first step after ascending the throne was to bring under control the independent chieftains in the Tungabhadra river basin. After succeeding in this effect, his next main target was Gulbarga. The Bahmani Sultan Muhammad Shah had been overthrown and kept in imprisonment by his minister Krishna Deva Raya, freed the Sultan and restored him to the throne. He forced a war on a Prataparudra, the Gajapati ruler of Odisha. Prataparudra negotiated for peace and offered to marry off his daughter to him. Accepting the offer, Krishna Deva Raya returned the territory he had conquered from Prataparudra. Krishna Deva Raya, with the assistance of the Portuguese gunners, could easily defeat the Sultan of Golconda and take over Raizur from the ruler of Bijapur. A great builder, Krishna Deva Raya built huge irrigation tanks and reservoirs for harvesting rainwater. He built the famous temples of Krishna Swami and Hazara Ramaswamy and Vitala Swami in the capital of Hampi. He distributed the wealth he gained in wars to all major temples of South India for the purpose of constructing temple Gopuras called Rajagopuram in his honor. He required a large army and built many strong forts. He imported large number of horses and Arabia and Iran, which came in ship to Vijayanagar port on the west coast. He had good friendly relationship with the Portuguese and Arabian traders, which increased the empire's income through customs. The pattern of literature, art and architecture for Vijayanagar Krishna Deva Raya period. Krishna Deva Raya patronized art and literature. 8 eminent luminaries in literature known as Ashtadigajas in his court. Alasani Bettanna was the greatest of them all. Another notable figure was Tenali Ramakrishna. The Battle of Talikota and the decline of Vijayanagar. Krishna Deva Raya was succeeded by his younger brother Achyuta Deva Raya. After the uneventful reign of Achyuta Deva Raya and his successor Venkada I, Sadasiva Raya, a minor, ascended the throne. His regent Ramaraya, the able general of the kingdom, continued as a de facto ruler. Even after Sadasiva Raya attained the age of becoming the king, he relegated Sadashiva Raya to a nominal king. In the meantime, the Sultan of Deccan Kingdom succeeded in forming a league of fight the Vijayanagar Empire. The combined force of the enemies met at Talikota in 1565. In the ensuing battle known as Raksha Tangadi, that means Battle of Talikota, Vijayanagar was defeated. There was terrible human slaughter and pillaging the capital city of Hampi. All the buildings, palaces and temples were destroyed. The beautiful carvings and sculptures were desecrated. The glorious Vijayanagar Empire had ceased to exist. The site of the city of Vijayanagar on the bank of the river Tungabhadra in eastern Karnataka is now called Hampi. Hampi is in ruins and the UNESCO has declared it a heritage site. Next dynasty, Aravidu dynasty. Ramarayam was killed on the battlefield and his brother Tirumala Devaraya managed to escape along with the king Sadashivaraya. Tirumala Devaraya moved to Chandragiri carrying all the treasures and wealth that would be salvaged. There he began the rule of Aravidu dynasty. This dynasty built a new capital at Benuhonda and kept the empire intact for a time. Internal and the intrigues of the Sultan of Bijapur and Golconda, however, led to the final collapse of the empire about 1646. Let's see Vijayanagar administration. First is state. Kingship was hereditary, based on the principle of primogeniture. But in some instances, the reigning rulers, in order to ensure peaceful succession, nominated their successor. There were also instances of usurpation. Saluva Narasimha usurped the throne and it led to the replacement of Sangama dynasty with Saluva dynasty. The practice of appointing a regent to look after the administration when a minor succeeds the throne was also prevalent. The structure of governance. The empire was divided into different mandalams. Nadus, Stalas. Talas means taluks. And finally into gramas. Gramas means village. Each province was administered by a governor called Mandaleshwara. The lowest unit of the administration was the village. Each village had a Grama Sabha. Gauda, village headman, looked after the affairs of the village. The army consisted of the infantry, cavalry, and elephant corps. The army was modernized and Vijayanagar army began using firearms. The combination of firearm and cavalry made them one of the most feared armies in India. Economic condition. Vijayanagar Empire was one of the richest states known as to the world. Several foreign travelers who visited the empire during the 15th and 16th centuries left behind the glowing account of its splendor and wealth. The emperor issued a large number of gold coins called varahas. Agriculture. It was the policy of its rulers to encourage agriculture in different parts of the empire by following a wise irrigation policy. Apart from the state, there were wealthy landholders and temples that invested in irrigation to promote the visiting Persian emissary to Krishnadevaraya's court. Records the huge tank built with the help of Portuguese masons. Channels were constructed to supply water from the tank to different parts of the city. The city was well stocked with a variety of agricultural goods. Cottage industries. Vijayanagar's agricultural production was supplemented by numerous cottage scale industries. The most important of them were textiles, mining, and metallurgy. Crafts and industries were regulated by guilds. Abdur Razak makes a reference to separate guilds for each group of tradesmen and craftsmen. Next, trade. During the Vijayanagar Empire, inland, coastal and overseas trade flourished in goods such as silk from China, spices from the Malabar region, and precious stones from Burma, that is Myanmar. Vijayanagar traded with Persia, South Africa, Portugal, Arabia, China, Southeast Asia and Sri Lanka. The contribution of literature. Under the patronage of Vijayanagar rulers, religious as well as secular books were written in different languages such as Sanskrit, Telugu, Kannada and Tamil. Krishnadevaraya wrote Amukta Malyata, an epic in Telugu, and also Sanskrit drama Jambavati Kalyanam. Tenali Ramakrishna authored Panduranga Mahapatyam. Scholars like Srinatha, Potana, Jakkamma and Tukana translated Sanskrit and Prakrit works into Telugu. Amukta is considered a masterpiece in Telugu literature. It related the story of daughter of Periyalvar, Goda Devi, that is Andal, who used to wear a garlands intended for Lord Ranganatha before they were offered to the deity, and hence the name Amukta who wears and gives away garlands. Contribution of architecture. The temple building activity of the Vijayanagar ruler produced a new style called the Vijayanagara style. Prominence of pillars and piers in large numbers and the manner in which they were sculptured are hallmarks of the Vijayanagara style. Horse was the most common animal to be on the pillars. The structures have a mandapam. Mandapam means the open pavilion with the raised platform, generally meant for seating the deity on special occasions. These temples also have a marriage hall with elaborately carved pillars. Thank you, children. Next class we